Alrighty, so today we are going to be talking about the LRTN banner. We should be expecting it around the 17th to the 18th, right around that time frame, so in a few days. Now, in this video specifically, I want to be going over who I believe is going to be on the banner, and we'll separately address the matter of should you summon or not, right? That's obviously, to me, I think a pretty obvious answer, I would hope. For most of you saying like, definitely not summoning, especially with your Dragon Stones. We'll talk about alternate factors in a little bit, but with that being said, I have the last legendary summon pulled up just so we can go over who will not be on the banner, right? Not like literally everybody, but just who has reran recently. By recently, I mean the middle of April, and legendary summon banners are definitely less frequent than they used to be, just because the devs know that these are just not very well-performing banners, right? Just because of the value, it's just a trap for somebody whose like favorite character is a legendary summon. Right now, I have the ticket summon version pulled up, but it's really no different because the banner lineup is exactly the same. So, looking at the previous banner, we have Pikkon with Golden Frieza and 17, and then Gohan and Piccolo from Namek, and then a bunch of other filler that sort of just goes on the categories, right? Stuff like that. So this is sort of what we're looking at right here. So that automatically crosses off Pikkon. I can't imagine they're going to rerun him in 2 months, and if they do, that'd be pretty shocking. Gohan and Piccolo, and then 17 and Frieza. These three characters are just taken off the list, right, if you will, and that right away sort of just tells me that this banner, if Pikkon's not going to be on it, when it comes to legendary summons, probably not going to be that good. Now, with this, we have TIEN'S leader skill, right? And TIEN'S leader skill is Final Trump card and Earthlings 200%. So the first category I have pulled up here is Earthlings. Now, the options here are pretty slim, right? When it comes to at least the LRs, I think Bulma is going to be on this banner, because Bulma crosses off a lot of the boxes, right? Earthlings, Dragon Ball Saga, legendary summon character, makes a lot of sense, right? And then when we look at some of these other characters here on the Earthlings team, you can see we have Grandpa Gohan, who is World Tournament. We have the Pilaf Gang, who's World Tournament. We have Roshi, who's World Tournament. 17 is a Prime Battle character. Or not 7. Why did I say 17? Tien is a Prime Battle character, excuse me. Then we have this Mercenary Tao, World Tournament. Roshi, free to play. Krillin, Prime Battle. Oob, Battlefield. World Tournament, Friend Summon. So if we're going to go with an Earthling for TIEN'S leader skill, this exclusively leaves Bulma, right? Like that's literally the only option here from the Earthlings category in terms of who another legendary summon character could be to pair up with Tien. Now, looking for the landscape of the TURs, things are a little bit different. Maybe they could slide Bunny Bulma in here. Maybe people could use her for super attack level into this one. I don't think you'd really want to do that, especially that's like more of a whale thing, honestly, than anything else. Maybe they could find a way to put Mai on this banner. Potentially, I'm just kind of looking around here, like the Golden Week from 2023 banner units right here go on the banner. I think that would make a lot of sense to sort of, they wouldn't really work well with Tien. Krillin, I guess, could in theory, but again, like he's just old, right? He's not very good. But like when you look at this right here, it's like we could say the same thing about STR Pikkon in Piccolo, right? Like it's just, that's sort of where we are at with that. So it's interesting to say. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have to find him. Where's he at? It's I actually think if we line this up right here, this Pikkon, and these Gokus right here, Pikkon and Kaioken Goku, that reminds me of somebody, if I could find him. Where is he at? Where is his happy ass at? Here we go. So Yamcha, I think, actually has a pretty good chance of getting an EZA this celebration. And what's leading to me to that is the fact that his Dokkan event is getting a burst mode. And typically that does sort of go side by side with an EZA for the TUR, right? We saw the same thing with Tech Canon Cauliflo. So with that, his banner unit, which is right here, this Yajirobe, I think could easily be a sub EZA. Like, what if the banner was like these 4 characters right here, and then we also had LR Bulma and then Tien, and then these 3 characters are going to get their sub EZAs. This is just a theory, right? And then next to Yamcha, getting him being the main EZA, very similar to what we saw with like the Ginyu Force, right, where we just have some banner units, and then Yamcha himself getting an EZA, and then you can just do it all at the same time. So I don't hate that idea. This absolutely screams skip no matter like really which way you go about it. But I think that could lead to be a pretty interesting banner when you look at the Earthlings category. So that's kind of what I'm leaning to right now in terms of who's going to be on there for Earthlings, or yeah, from the Earthlings side. But let's look at Dragon Ball Saga and see if anything else jumps off the page to us. And it's just going to be the same case, right? Where Bulma is just checking off all the boxes, where she's really the only non-free-to-play LR here on the list. And all of these other major characters here that we're seeing just really are not like on the table for EZAs right now. Like I don't like, I feel like if they're going to do Path to Power Kid Goku, which they already did, I feel like Ader would have EZA'd with him. But that is not the case here. So we'll have to see when he'll come out for his EZA. But really, a lot of these characters are just a little bit too new, right? Like Kid Chi-Chi just came out. This Bulma is pretty recent, came out with Roshi. It's the same case here with General Blue, Mercenary Tao. Obviously, they're the brand new Dokkan Festa banner unit in the game. This Mai is pretty recent. Maybe she gets an EZA, but I doubt it. So Dragon Ball Saga, really not much to go off of here. So I'm not really seeing too much in terms of like what we're going to be looking for here. So I guess that's an interesting way of looking at it. But the last category I think that has some potential here to toss some legendary summon characters on here would be this banner right here, or this category right here, excuse me, being the Final Trump Card category. So now that we have some options here, like Final Trump Card is like, you guys can see like the difference in terms of summonable LRs, right? Now, obviously, like these three, not going to be here. Maybe if they're trying to bait people, they toss Cell Max on the banner, but it wouldn't really make sense in line with the context of this banner, right? It being Tien. I don't really think Tien and Cell Max are exactly a pairing. Call me crazy, right? But something I could easily see them doing, funny enough, I would be like, it would be the least surprising thing of all time if they just tossed this Tree of Might Goku on here, right? Where it's just like, they think it's like, oh, there's a base Goku on here. People love Goku, right? So people are going to summon. And it's like, no, this is just the easiest skip ever. So maybe they put him on here. Maybe they do something like Tech Kaioken, or I'm all over the place. I'm just getting up. But STR Kaioken Goku, right? Potentially, if they wanted to maybe, for some reason, EZA this Goku and Piccolo, I think that could potentially be an option here. But not a ton to work with in terms of just like overall TURs, right? Lots of TURs of LRs on here. And then you just kind of go down the list a little bit and it's like, I really do not know who would sub EZA here, because this category, as you guys can see, is very EZA'd. Like maybe they throw like Merge Zamasu on here and they sort of just call it a day, right? So if I had to replace everybody on the legendary summon, right, with somebody, and that's kind of just like the way that we're seeing things right now, the way I would sort of see it is we have PyCon here, and PyCon would just be Tien, obviously. This would be more than likely, I think, Bulma or something like that, maybe like Cell Max. I know Cell Max doesn't make much sense on the banner, but he is Final Trump Card, so he would work under Tien's leader skill. And then, so let's go with Cell Max, even though I don't think it makes a ton of sense. And then we'll go with Bulma, where 17 and Frieza are. Now, when it comes to these filler TURs, this is a really tough one, right? I think Yajirobe, Tien, and Krillin potentially could be some options right here. And then you sort of just have to look at the rest of it from like the perspective of like Dragon Ball Saga, right? Maybe they end up putting like Tech Mai and Bunny Bulma on here. Like just really any Dragon Ball Saga related TURs I think would make sense in terms of like what we're looking for, but any like Earthling as well, maybe a Final Trump Card TUR. That would kind of give us a good indication on who's EZAing, who's sub-EZAing. If we see Yajirobe on here, then that probably means him and Yamcha are going to both be getting their EZAs, or at the very least, Yamcha will be getting his. I think Yamcha getting an EZA is like 75 to 80% confirmed at this point. I don't want to say like it's happening, but it's pretty likely, right? So it's sort of the final verdict here. As you guys can see, this banner is not going to be the best thing in the world. So what we want to be doing is looking to use our special Dokkan Day tickets. You guys want to make sure that you're getting on that. I'll probably just do like a community post or maybe even a short on it. But we want to make sure that we are just using our Dokkan Day stuff, right? So if we go to the missions over here, and you guys, they should be at the top, right? Special Dokkan Day missions here, right? Just go do these. It takes all of 5 minutes to get all this done, so make sure that you are doing this. And then this is going to be the only thing that we are using to summon on this Tien banner. So three multis of 7, 21 chances to get them. If you don't get them, oh well. I don't think that this Tien is going to be setting you back like months in terms of doing difficult content, especially with the Global Dokkan campaign coming up in about 2 weeks here or so, a little bit more. So lots of fun stuff on the way, but this Tien definitely not a character that you need to be going way out of your way for. Now, if he's your favorite character, that's a bit of a different scenario, but just going from a general consensus, you should definitely be skipping this banner, and at the very most using your, well, for sure doing this, but just make sure you're just using your special Dokkan Day tickets. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know who you think is going to be on the banner. Are you going to be summoning or not? Everyone should be saying no. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like before you go. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.